Hi, I'm Pawel, I make games and I'm gonna show you how to move an object smoothly from one point to another in Unity. All we will be doing in this video is writing a quite simple coroutine and adding two global variables. So if you know how to do it already or you just want to learn it by looking at the code, you can go to the end of this video and rewrite it. Anyway, if you are still here, thank you for staying with me and let's go! Let's open up Click Manager. First thing we need is some space over there and a public I enumerator. Its name will be moved to point and it will have an argument of vector2 type point. Vector2 is, for example, x and y in position of a game object, and that's exactly what we need. Now we need to think about what we need to do in this coroutine. For sure we will need to set speed of our object, we'll also need a direction in which we will be moving, and we will need to figure out the way how to move frame by frame. Eventually we'll stop when we are near the point. That means we will need some kind of accuracy of our movement. Let's create a float called moveSpeed and let's set it to 3.5. Maybe you know or maybe you don't, but to move the player smoothly we will just teleport her a tiny bit closer to the target really often. To be more precise, every frame. As long as we do that, the distance is getting smaller and it will eventually get smaller than the distance for one frame, so it means we will never reach the target. That's why we need a accuracy, so if the distance is smaller than accuracy, we just teleport the player to the exact point and stop moving. You need to know that our accuracy depends on our move speed and frame rate. Basically, we need to make sure that it's bigger than the distance we cover in one frame. If we divide 3.5 our speed by 60, the frame rate, we will get something around 0.06. The accuracy must be bigger than that, and that's why we use something roughly 3 times bigger. You know, if the FPS drops, we get a bigger distance for one teleport, and that's why we use a huge accuracy value. Alright, so we've set the speed, we don't need this comment, and let's think about setting the direction. It will be vector2 for sure, and the name for that will be difference, or maybe to be more precise, position difference. And its value will be point, which is vector2, minus player.position, which is vector3, so we need to temporarily change it to vector2. By the way, it's not the direction yet. Now let's open a while loop and let's think when we need to move. For sure we will need a position.difference and we will use its magnitude. This float tells us how far away we are from the point, and we will check if it's bigger than our accuracy. So we've got this step done and we will move in direction inside the while loop. Let's access player and let's use translate function, and as an argument we will use speed multiplied by position difference.normalized, our direction, multiplied by time.delta time. Let's look at what we have here. A normalized vector has a magnitude of 1, so we know the direction of our movement. Then we use speed to make it go faster or slower, and the speed is how fast we move per second, not per frame, so we need to use time.delta time, which is the time difference between this frame and the previous one. That way, in 60 frames we will move around 3.5 units in any direction we want. Now let me take care of the comments. Now we're gonna use yield return null, which makes this coroutine wait one frame. If we don't use it, we will do this frame over and over in one frame until we reach the point, so we will just teleport. And this way we will check if we are close to the object. If not, we will move closer and wait one frame. And of course we will do this over and over until we get close enough. You also need to know that this line is very important for enumerators, and if we don't use it even once, Unity may get angry and give us an error. So we better paste it here too. It won't change anything if it's at the end of this coroutine, because we have already done everything we need and we just wait one additional frame. Now we may use this line we used to teleport to snap to grid at the end of our movement. But instead of item we will use point. And we can forget about actually starting this coroutine, so let's start a coroutine move to point with an argument item.goToPoint.position. Now let's go to Unity, hit play and click on a plant. We are moving towards the plant and we miss it. That's because we calculate the position difference only once, and as Unity sees it, we are not getting closer to the point. So let's copy this line and paste it over here, inside the while loop. So now we are calculating the position difference, and in the while loop we are recalculating it. Now as we click play in Unity and click on a plant, we are sliding towards it and we stop. Of course we have some problems to solve, for example items being collected too early, and this weird vertical snapping which will be hidden as we get into animating stuff. Anyway, I hope you've learned something useful about coroutines today. In the next video we are going to organize the code, so it will be a tiny one. Have a good day and see you soon!